Hello, my little beefcakes. Welcome to the very first Pancakes and PlayStation Q&A/AMA. I'm here with Sprinkles. That's him. We just played a little Home Alone.
Question number 1.
Alright, our first question is from Nicole Moore. My question, will you be my personal trainer / friend when/if you move here? She means to Austin. Which I answered with a resounding yes. Thanks, Nicole. We'll see you in a few months. That was a secret for Ranella. Question number 2 from my good friend Esther Zicky Zucky. Why do you call your significant other Sprinkles? 'Cause that's his name. You want to tell the story behind it?
There's really no story. I've told it before on camera, but I was called Sprinkles by a senior in high school when I was a freshman. There was no reason behind it. His name was Jimmy Greeno. He said, I'm gonna call you Sprinkles, and I said, okay. And that day, probably 30 people in the hallways who I had never talked to in my life knew who I was. So I said, alright, identity found. It means nothing, but it's been 12, 13 years now of being Sprinkles. So, and it was actually the third tattoo I ever got was this. So, for everybody that said, don't do that, you're gonna regret it, it's stupid. Well, I don't.
Also, from Esther Zicky Zucky. I want a super cool swim body for next summer. Is there a way I can eat my cake and be a beefcake too? Why yes, you are not lost. So I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about flexible dieting. I know it sounds scary because the word diet is in there, and that just makes everyone think about restricting food and trying to lose weight, which is not always our goals.
And kale.
I like kale, but whatever. I also like donuts. Flexible dieting is basically finding out what macronutrients you need to fit your goals. Macronutrients being carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And then how many calories for the amount of energy you're expending and whether you're looking to gain, maintain, or lose weight. So once you figure out where your macronutrients should be and your calorie level, you can kind of plan out your foods so that you can sneak a little cake in there sometimes. That's the way to do it. That's what I do. I'm a pastry cook. I eat cookies at work. I can't stop. So, there you go. Also, powerlifting. Powerlifting. Eat all the cake, be a beefcake. No one seemed to ask, why do you make stupid faces all the time? It's just my face. This is my personal favorite question that got asked from my friend Sarah Century, who's always awesome. She wants to know, who is your favorite Street Fighter character and why? I'd obviously have to go with Chun-Li, as you've seen in other videos. I don't know, she always just seemed like a badass, and she could like fight off these huge dudes, and she's got that lightning kick and then the sweet fireballs. I don't really know a whole lot about her backstory, to be honest, but Chun-Li, for sure.
I'm gonna say Rob Van Dam from the Street Fighter movie.
Street Fighter, the game, the movie, the game.
I was never a Street Fighter guy.
I just messed that up. I only played Street Fighter because my parents wouldn't let me have Mortal Kombat because it was like too gory. But as a kid, I couldn't even get them to do the fatalities, so it didn't even matter anyway.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang's alright.
Liu Kang.
I am a big fan of Sonya Blade and Sindel. Those are usually the characters I play on Mortal Kombat. Kombat, just to expand this universe.
Raiden.
That too, I do. I usually don't play male characters in fighting games, but I will play Raiden or Jax in Mortal Kombat, and E Honda in Street Fighter. Count Pompula, aka my friend Pam, who rules, and I miss her. She just wrote Buffy questions, question mark. I don't really know what exactly that means. Is it Buffy trivia? I don't know.
I think she was asking if it's okay to ask Buffy questions.
It's always okay to ask Buffy questions.
So there you go.
So just in case you guys needed to know.
So now you can ask Buffy questions.
Maybe which Buffy character do I identify with and why? I've always picked Faith because I kind of look like her and I always just want to be a crap talker all the time and tough and throw knives at people, but it might possibly be Willow or Buffy. Willow's got that reserved thing and quest for knowledge like I have, and then Buffy's a Capricorn, so duh. And, you know, super strength, which I guess I only wish I had. Also, Giles is the best person to exist of all time.
Chandler Bing.
Is not a Buffy character. Alright, and another question from a loyal follower, Old Rusty Stuff. Do you have plans for another powerlifting meet? I had somewhat planned on doing a meet in January, because there's one coming up nearby, but we're going to be moving across the country probably at the end of January, so... Also, I haven't been training for a meet. So I think that's not going to be in the cards, like I had once supposed. No birthday meet. But hopefully once we get settled in Austin, I can begin my 3-month training block and find another meet and actually meet people who work out. I don't have any real friends that work out. If you are a beefcake, please come meet me because I don't know anyone in real life. The internet is my only friend. So that's all the real questions that I got. Because, you know, I'm proud of the amount of followers that I have, and all of you, because you're awesome. Let's think of questions that popular YouTubers get. Like, people get hassled on the internet, and YouTube comments are mean. I guess, like, when did you get into doing YouTube? A few months ago, and I wanted to do it way before that, but I just didn't. I did have a few videos from a couple years ago that are just me singing Molgoth songs in my room, but I made those private because you'll never see them.
I'm on YouTube too.
Kind of. We need to get back on there.
I'm featured on it. I'm a part of a YouTube
yes,
channel.
So go check out Scott Squatch because this little sprinkle is on there pretty frequently.
It's written right here. Is that the right direction?
Yeah.
You get it.
Or it's good enough.
Great Scott Squatch. No great, but he's great.
But he's tall.
We go yard selling.
No, he's cool.
We buy video games.
He's a Virgo.
I buy VHS tapes on camera. You get to see me buy some cool stuff for good money. And that's what I do.
Oh, look. Internet user 3000 asks, so what's your training like these days? Oh, that's really great that you asked. Because I haven't really had time recently, but basically I'm prioritizing my 3 powerlifting movements, which bench, squat, and deadlift for anyone who doesn't know. Core, as far as my gymnastics bodies stuff goes. I haven't really stretched that much, but I'm already really flexible, so that's okay, I guess. I feel sad that I don't stretch enough. I stand up all day and then my back hurts. So yeah, bench, squat, deadlift, core, overhead pressing, and pull-ups. Those are like my main focus right now because I want to be really good at all of them. Oh look, internet user 3001 asked, so what do you foresee your training being like in the near future? Well, I think I will continue to concentrate on these things, as well as make sure I prioritize handstand. And also I want to do self-defense, because in this political climate, who knows what can happen, and even if nothing does, it's always just a good skill to have. Sprinkles is really bored. Also, this onesie is really hot because it's Florida. And then, you know, we picked another hot place to move to. Actually, Austin's like 1,000 times hotter than Florida. I lived in Texas for most of my life, and Louisiana before that. And I still, when I moved to Austin at age 18, I thought I was gonna die in the summer. If that tells you anything.
There's a question.
Also, my cat's vomiting right now.
There's a question.
What?
Where are you from? Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's neat. Where are you from?
Boston.
He's from Boston.
I hate it, but I'm from there.
I was born in West Monroe, Louisiana. Then we moved to Shreveport when I was a little beeb. And then we moved to Texas because my dad did computer programming and Louisiana did not have enough jobs. So I lived in Dallas-Fort Worth until I was 18, then I moved to Austin. And I finally felt like there were other people that existed in the world that were like me. And then I moved to Denver 5 years later after road tripping around the country for many, many months. And I stayed in Denver for 7 years, and then we ended up in Florida because we were like, well, we need to live in a place that's cheaper than Denver because everyone's moving there because Florida's just as weird as you thought it was. And the jobs don't pay you very much. You just cheersed yourself. Oh look, Internet user 3002 asked, what's your favorite video game?
What's my favorite video game? You might as well have asked, what's your least favorite question to be asked? No, well, that's impossible, but I will say I have a couple. Top three video games of all time. Okay. That's really hard. I'm gonna stick with one era of games. That would be the GameCube, Xbox, PS2, because I can reach them right now. I can tell you right now, Max Payne. Phenomenal. Ratchet and Clank. Super Mario Sunshine. So as far as the 6th generation of video games, that'd be embarrassing if I got that wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the 6th. Yes. Xbox, PS2, GameCube. There you go. I like these games. I played them a lot when I had no friends or life. And I sat in my room all day and played single-player games.
As far as my favorite games, I will grab them.
Today I had a customer ask me, not so much ask me, but she was very nice about it, and she said, you know, I always wondered, I work at Target, and she said, I always wondered, how do people with, you know, like, people who are like tattooed, where do they work? You know, like, what do they do? I assume, like, you know, they work at tattoo shops, or, and I'm like, okay. She was a very nice lady, though. But I was like, no,
She asked him at work, so
yeah.
he was already at work.
She asked me more in a sense of like she was happy that I just had a normal job because she didn't think that people. We're in Florida now. People who have face tattoos got them in jail if they are from Florida. They just did. It's very weird here, but I didn't. I got mine in Denver, where everyone has tattoos. So So, yes, you can have tattoos and have a living. Not that targets my career. Side note. Do the side notes come up over here?
They will. They'll come up somewhere.
Can you get Clippy?
What's that? Oh, like the little
Clippy! Clippy!
officer guy?
Everyone loves Clippy.
Word art dude?
No one that's watching this likes Clippy.
Whatever. So, my favorite games. Tony Hawk Underground 2 for PlayStation 2 because everything on PlayStation 2 rules. We Heart Katamari. Although, Beautiful Katamari, or maybe it's Katamari Forever for PS3.
That's the one.
Really amazing.
Beautiful Katamari is 360. She doesn't play anything on an Xbox.
And pretend this is for Sega Genesis, but Street Fighter 2. Also, like Mortal Kombat.
This is Street Fighter 4.
Ultimate. While I know, I said pretend this is for Sega.
Well, which Street Fighter 2?
I didn't feel like grabbing.
Street Fighter 2 Ultimate Edition, Street Fighter 2 Championship Editions.
The one with Chun-Li and Cammy in it.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
You're a turbo. Although Super Street Fighter 4 is really awesome if you haven't played it. They introduced a lot of really cool new characters. Like Julie, she's pretty sweet. Good animation too, I will say. But also Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Underground 2, because it's the best game of all time. I just want to play it every day for the rest of my life.
It's got Bam's dad in it.
He's only wearing tiny whities too.
Picture of Bam's dad. I'm making
There's no Alyssa Steamer, but I'll forgive it because there's Create a Skater with females. It's fine.
Hashtag Alyssa Steamer.
Forever!
Hashtag make Tony Hawk great again. Not
Yeah,
the person. The
so-
person, he's great.
No,
the
he's
game's
good.
though.
The only reason I want to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is because Lizzie Armanto is in it and she's really awesome. But other than that, I've heard it's a really crappy game. Anyway, that's where we're gonna cut it off here. Thank you for all your real and possibly not real questions. Please hit like, leave a comment below, subscribe, love us. We need validation.
Ask us more questions.
Yes, you can ask questions at any time and tell me what kind of videos you want to see.
Subscribe to videos.
I want to work with you.
Tell your friends.
We are all beefcakes.
Post a picture of a screenshot of this video on your Instagram and or Facebook and tell your friends to subscribe to the channel and watch our Ask Us Anything.